Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Star vs. the Forces of Evil review. Season 1, Episode 24, Storm the Castle. This is the season finale. We're actually here. I actually finished this in less than a year. Honestly, it's only 24 episodes. That's not like 50, which takes like a year and a half, or was it 52? That took like almost 2 years. Probably did take around 2 years, honestly. Yeah, no, of course I did want to get this finished sooner. I didn't want as many gaps in there as there was, but hey, we did it. And yeah, we're at the final episode, and this one is good. It's a good episode. It's not as great as I remember it. I remember it being a lot better. I mean, it's still fine. It's a fine finale, but it's less than what I expected it to be. And we'll get into some of the problems with it. It does have its fair share of cliches. But yeah, it starts off with Star and Marco are adventuring in the forest, and there's this weird like pipe thing, and Star says it has sandwiches in it. Which, yeah, she is right. And I'm going to be honest, I find this funny. Not in like a laugh out loud kind of funny, but in like a, yeah, that's pretty random and quirky kind of funny. I think it works. Because we find out this pipe thing is actually like a frog, and Star presumably stole its like lunch or something it ate. How it got a sandwich like that, I have no idea. But yeah, I think it's kind of funny. I like the setup. But, so they're trying to outrun this monster, and they're about to die. Marco's eventually able to pull them out. And this establishes what we've seen in past episodes, where Marco is the responsible one and Star is the reckless one. However, in this episode, this leads to the cliche of, why are we even friends? Because they're mad at each other. Star's mad she didn't get the whole sandwich. So she asks Marco, why are they even friends? I hate this cliche. It always feels forced. In this episode, I will give them some credit, though. Because, like, this has been set up. Since the very first episode, we've seen Marco is the responsible one, and Star is the reckless one. So this has been set up, and, right, the sequencing is properly there. The problem is, though, I still hate this trope. It still does feel out of force, and this is a mark against the episode. There is no reason for them to do this. This does not come back in the plot. I mean, Star goes to immediately apologize right afterwards. This had no reason to be here. They didn't need to have their friendship argument. It's just a trope that they did for the sake of the trope, that episodes like this, season finales, have to have best friends argue, because Star is still going to go save Marco in the end, of course, right? There's no reason for them to argue. It's pointless, and it's a flaw of the episode. But like I was saying, Star she thinks it out over, like, not just still by the end of that night. She is willing to apologize to Marco. She admits she's wrong. She goes downstairs and find the parents. They're reading like a medical book, but the way they frame the shot, it's a joke for sex. If this wasn't a kids show, they'd be having sex downstairs, which I do think is funny. I think the parents are fine in this episode. But Star can't find Marco. She goes upstairs, and he looks like he's on the bed, but it's actually Ludo's fly minion who tells Star to come alone to Ludo's castle. Okay, simple. So Marco's been kidnapped. It makes sense. They call the cops, and this cop, it doesn't go on for that long, but it's still super annoying. I hate this cop. It's just a flash in the pants thing. Whatever. Star says that she'll go find Marco, she'll take care of it, and just leaves the Diaz's. Yeah, it's kind of a dick move. Especially with what yeah. We cut to Ludo, who is carrying the sack to Buff Frog right outside Ludo's castle. And so right there talking, and Ludo's basically trying to bribe Buff Frog. Star comes by, thinks Marco's in the sack, but it's actually a bunch of tadpoles. She interrogates Ludo and finds out that he's also been kicked out of his castle because Ludo's no longer a threat. Okay. And yeah, so Ludo proposed, because Ludo originally was trying to bribe Buff Frog to get his castle back. But hey, now that Star's here, he can bribe Star, because Star hates Toffee, he hates Toffee. Alliance of convenience. I like that. I like alliances of convenience. I think that those can be really fun. And Buffrog also agrees to help out, because now that he's a father, he doesn't want them growing up. He wants them growing up in the castle, not around Toffee, right? Makes sense. His motivation is good as well. We see, Toffee has captured Marco, which I will admit, that's a smart thing for Toffee to do. I mean, I know I have to bring up the obvious of, they're switching the damsel in distress, where Marco is the damsel and Star's the one coming to save him. That's just, I have to bring that up. I feel like I'm legally required to. It's not really that big of a factor in the episode, but, well, okay, it technically is, but you get my point. Like, in the modern world, the damsel in distress means less and less, and we've seen the gender reversal flip so many times, it's stopped mattering at this point. But yeah, no, I think it's clever, and Toffee is not playing this he's torturing Marco or whatnot. He's just keeping him in this box, and he gives him a sandwich. We see several sandwiches throughout this episode. I don't get it. But yeah, no, he just says Marco is disappointing, because he's not even trying to kill Marco yet, even though he's hinting that that's probably going to happen by the time the night's over. We cut back to Star, and Ludo basically explains that, this is Alliance of Convenience. You have to be careful, Star. You can't go in without a plan, because Toffee isn't Ludo. Toffee's actually smart. He does raise a fair point, and we see back to Toffee eating a sandwich. And I want to bring up something that I don't know if I've ever actually thought about with Toffee. Especially because I definitely wasn't thinking about this in previous reviews when I did the second and third season. Toffee just states it here. Because the fly tries to put pillows on his chair, and Toffee says, I'm an adult. I don't need pillows, right? Which brings up the stark contrast between Toffee and Ludo. Toffee's an adult, right? Marco calls him a lawyer throughout the episode. Well, Ludo is just a child. He's after the wand in the way a child would. And then Star's also a child. She doesn't have a plan. She's just busting in here and trying to blast her way through it and defeat Toffee. It's an adult versus a child. I've never thought about it that way, though. Now, I don't think, with that being said, I don't think they're going for a kids versus adult style message, kind of like a subtler Kids Next Door. They're not going for that. It's just a detail that I do think makes Toffee's character a little more interesting. I actually have a few new thoughts on Toffee, but a lot of them involve spoilers from later seasons, because spoiler alert, this isn't the end of Toffee. And I may do that in a separate video sometimes before season 4 airs, so remind me of that. But yeah, like I was saying, Star blasts her way in, and she just blows off Toffee's arm. Which, whenever we see Star in a fight scene, she's using magic, but I've never thought of it as deadly. This is the first time I've realized Star's magic can kill people. It does actually have that power to it. Which, it's always been there, but it's just something I've never thought of until you see her, shoot off Toffee's arm. But she tries to break Marco out of his glass prison. It doesn't work. And Buffrog also comes in and is helping him fight all of Ludo's monsters. It's a fine fight sequence. I think it works. Again, this is the episode that makes me start to like Buffrog, because he's now a father. He's got his tadpoles, and he's actually helping out Star. This is a great start to what's eventually going to be one of my favorites in this show. But Star can't break the glass, so she eventually, her cheeks glow and her wand and her eyes glow. Spoiler alert, this is basically her digging down, which we will develop next season. Actually, I think in the very first episode of the next season, we talk about digging down. But yeah, this is her digging down, and she's able to blast through the glass, but she's not fast enough because she's caught off guard, and Marco doesn't get out, and the glass reforms, and now it's even stronger. Yeesh. Yeah, no, she screws up. We see Toffee is able to regenerate his arm, and he's going to kill Marco. He's going to have the cage crush him, and now she can't break it because it's stronger. Oh, yeah, no, it's pretty threatening. And Star offers Toffee a trade, the wand for Marco. I like moments where the hero is willing to sacrifice everything. I do. And Toffee says he's an adult. He doesn't want the wand. That's childish. He wants Star to destroy the wand. Yeah, no, not what I'm gonna be. The first time I saw this was not what I expected. And she does the whisper spell, which takes all the magic out of the wand. Which, yeah, no, it looks like she's giving up her magic for Marco. It's pretty good. I love moments like this when the hero loses. Not the war. They don't lose the war, but they lose the battle. These are some of my favorite moments because it pushes a character to its lowest point, of which they have to work back from in future episodes. And this show does this multiple times, and every time, well, almost every time, it's effective. This show has does a great job of pushing Star to a lower point where she has to give up something or she loses, and she has to work her way back from that. That's one of the things I love about this show, and this episode is really the start of that. But yeah, she uses the whisper spell, destroying her wand, and then she runs into the glass room with Marco and says it's not over yet because the wand is going to explode, and that's exactly what Toffee wants. Because Toffee wants to destroy, right? He doesn't like the wand, he wants to destroy magic. Bullfrog even outlines that earlier on in the episode. And the wand blows up the entire castle. Of course, our heroes live because they're in the impenetrable glass box, and Ludo, who was eaten by a chicken at a previous point, also lives because sure, why not? And then Star's like, screw this, and just throws Ludo out into space. Meh, what I would say would be a fitting end to the character, but spoiler alert, he's going to come back. I'm fine with it. For a while. And it's like, yeah, that's the end of the wand, right? It got destroyed, but of course, that's not it. We see a Millhorse appear. We talked about Millhorse in Quest Buy. I like the idea. I don't like the wand charger, but I think the Millhorse isn't a bad idea. Some physical being that like runs on the wand to give it power, but is also like its connection to the magical realm, as they'll explain later on. And I do like the idea, because at first you think the whisper spell destroys the wand, which is what it looks like it does, but it's actually more complicated than that. Because as we see, it drains the magic from the wand and kills the Millhorse. Then the wand explodes, and then a new Millhorse comes and reforms the wand, and now Star has an upgrade, a new wand, even though there's something wrong with them, as you can clearly see by looking at it. But the reason for the whisper spell is in case an enemy gets the wand, the queen, whoever has it, can use the whisper spell to kill the Millhorse, so that way that person can't use the wand. It explodes the wand, so that way damaging anybody who takes it, and they can always fix it with a new Millhorse. It's not a foolproof system, but I do think it actually makes sense. I don't think that's a bad system, like a protection system, just in case an enemy gets it. It's not perfect again, but I don't think it's that bad. I kind of like it's a depth to the wand that I do like. But yeah, so the Millhorse powers and Star gets a new wand, but something's wrong with it. We see a bunch of knights ride up, and hey, Marco's parents, because they called River, and yeah, they're here and Marco's safe. Yeah, cool. Again, Marco's parents are fine. Star talks to her parents, though, and tells them what happened. But it looks like Star's going to be in trouble, but no, the mother's just happy she's safe. Star's mother, Moon, is also another great character that in the second season gets some development, but this is the start of it. This is the start of her just not being just some parent authority figure to rebel against, but her being an actual character. Even though, I realized in Sleep Spell, they set up that Star has mother issues, and I'm trying to think back to the second season if they actually really go into detail on that. I know snippets here and there, but do they ever go into it on the larger scale? I cannot think of anything. There could be something I'm forgetting. Somebody will yell at me if the comments if there is. But then at the end, they Moon and River call Glossaryck and say the wand has been cleaved because, right, the piece of the star is missing. And yeah, he gives on this. Glossaryck is, God, I hate Glossaryck. I really do. But yeah, he explains that cleaving can either be taking something in half or putting something together. And then, because at this moment, it looks like Toffee failed, because even though the Whisper, he wanted to blow up the wand, he drains the magic, it blows up, but yet a new Millhorse comes. So it looks like Toffee failed. But did he? Because we see at the end the other piece of the wand. Something's going on. That's something for the second season, but I'm not going to give that away here. You gotta go watch that. Something definitely is going on. Of course, I know all the answers, but I'm not going to give them away. And yeah, Storm the Castle. Like I said, it's got some moments I like. I like the I think the Whisper spell is fascinating. I like what they do with Buff Frog. I like what they do with Marco and how Star is willing to sacrifice everything for Marco. I like some of the stuff with Toffee. I am starting to wonder if Toffee... Because I know I've always said Ludo is the jokey villain, Toffee's the serious one. But even though Toffee... Yeah, that's true. Is Toffee that great of a villain even? Again, video for another day. The Ludo stuff is whatever. The parents stuff is just an end thing. I do like Star and her mom. That'll set up. The new wand looks fine. Yeah, sure, I'm down for it. Yeah, it's a good episode. I remember it being better, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do? It's a fine ending for a season, leaving us up on a cliffhanger with more to come next season. And yeah, I've got reviews for the next 2 seasons up. And then season 4, just to date the video, starts sometime early in 2019. So, we'll see. But I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.